He's ready to go. The Missouri Tiger lost in the semifinals last night to Yanni Diakomahalis, the return national champion, and he will take on Mckee from Minnesota.
Taking a look at Eierman, he's a junior from the University of Missouri. Came into the tournament with a 23-3 record. This is his third appearance, Todd, in the NCAA championships. He, in 2017, was an All-American, finishing in 5th place. 2018, finishing in 4th place. Again, an All-American. This will make the third All-American honor that he has earned.
Mitch Mckee, 24-6 on the year for the Golden Gophers. He's dropped down to a leg. Eierman, though, he wrestles that funky style, always in a good position no matter where he is. And similar to the former Mizzou and two-time national champion Ben Askren.
Eierman coming down through the bracket. First round, he beat DeBean from UT Chattanooga, beating by a fall. Came into the second round, beating Kelly from Ohio with a 10-6 correction, 10-8 decision. Then he beat Shoup from Lehigh with an 8-3 decision. He lost to Yanni D in the semifinals last night, dropping down to the consolation side of the bracket.
Mitch Mckee puts the first points on the board. I thought Eierman had a chance to stay in that scramble. Mitch Mckee had higher hips, bounces on Eierman, and the 7th seed junior out of Minnesota, and the Minnesota native lets Eierman up about halfway through the first. As a throw by, Eierman does have the 2 and gets him flat on the mat.
Mckee advancing in the first round, beating Sam Krivas from University of Virginia. In the second round, he beat Turner from Wyoming. Then he ran into McKenna from Ohio State, losing by a major decision 11-1, dropping down to the consolation side of the bracket, and hence the bout going on before us right now.
The winner here will move on to wrestle. So there won't be much of a break. If I remember correctly, AL, it pretty much goes right into that place matches here in the first half, the morning part of this session, which is actually session 5. I said 6. We'll have 6 tonight.
Good memory. I'm impressed. You must be taking your vitamins, Tom.
Exactly. I had some coffee, one of the two. Eierman laced in. Getting that left arm back. Angel Rivera, our head official, will stalemate it. Matt Seitz is on the outside for this match.
Eierman had that flanker in on both sides. Tough to break. He's got strong legs, big hips. Brian Smith, of course, has the one more philosophy, Tiger style wrestling. And if they're in the room working out and somebody does 20 bench presses, somebody else does that one more, 21, and then the next person does 22, and then one more, somebody does 23. And it's a way for the guys to keep motivated. Brian will tell you, however, it's not a gimmick. It is a philosophy and a way of life, and certainly his wrestlers live by that.
Absolutely. And like you say, a real culture there. Brian Smith coming from Syracuse, which is no longer a Division I program. He's made quite the home in Columbia. Talking about Mitch Mckee, 3-time national qualifier now. He's out of the state of Minnesota, hails from St. Michael Albertsville High School in St. Michael, Minnesota. As Eierman holding on in the closing seconds. Eierman with a 3-2 advantage, and the choice goes to Eierman. He immediately takes down. 3-time state champion was Mckee up in Minnesota. 6-time Fargo national champion. Wow. 4-time Greco, 2-time freestyle. So quite accomplishment on the prep side of Mckee's credentials. On their feet. 4-2 in favor of Eierman in the white singlet. Mckee in the maroon and gold combination singlet. Oh, nice shot. Uncontested by Eierman. Laces in. Mckee goes to a roll, and it's a quick reversal for the Golden Gopher. Nope, they'll say still control Eierman. Great flurry there, AL.
Great scramble as our wrestlers go out of bounds opposite the mat table.
Mckee didn't skip a beat. after surrendering that uncontested takedown, and he goes to a roll, and now on top, still trailing by 2, and riding time of $1:30 for Eierman.
Looks like Mckee is going to come in with an optional start. No, now he goes back down to his knees.
Eierman up and away, turns around and gets the one. Eierman out of Father Tolton Regional High School in Columbia, right in the backyard of Mizzou, is one of the only, the 6th or 7th four-time undefeated state champion in the Show Me State. Now, Father Tolton High School is in Class 1, the smallest classification in Missouri. As Mckee deep on a shot, Eierman counters. They're still in bounds, and now Eierman, higher hips, anchors. Can he get the 2? He still has that right leg free, and they're going to say, let's see, whistle's blown by Angel Rivera.
Looks like blood on the nose,
Yep.
Todd, or from the nose.
Now, here's an interesting stat. So, Eierman's senior year, if I'm not mistaken, 4 guys on his squad, all 4 are here from Mizzou at the collegiate level. 4 guys all went and won state titles, and they placed 4th in the state. You don't have to have numbers to get that trophy at the state championships.
You bet. Angel Rivera is the man on the whistle on this bout. He's the referee. And Matt Zeitz from St. Louis, Missouri is working the perimeter. Both, again, outstanding officials.
Alan Waters in the corner with Brian Smith. Waters a 2-time All-American for the Tigers. And then Brandon Agam over in the corner for the Golden Gophers, longtime assistant for Jay Robinson, the legendary Golden Gopher headman. So here we go. 43 seconds after blood time as Mckee was attended to. 3-point lead for Eierman.
Eierman's losses this year, he only had 3 during the regular season. November 30th to Joey McKenna. The 29th of December to Yanni D. And again, January 17th to Josh Alber from University of Northern Iowa.
Alber will not All-American here at this tournament, even though he was the 4 seed. As most of these brackets at the national tournament, there are pretty much no easy draws. A lot of them are stacked from top to bottom. The choice goes to Mckee, and he's going to go neutral here.
Interesting choice, but again, knowing how Erneste can ride might be the wise decision.
One of those things, Eierman, though, he is dangerous from any position. So a lot of attempted
little
late
judo
swing.
move, yeah.
We know Eierman just when you think you have him. But Mitch Mckee really showing some skills here after getting that immediate reversal when Eierman had that takedown on the far side of the mat.
McKee's losses this year came in December. The first one was a tech fall to Austin Headley of North Carolina. Then in Michael Carr on January 18th. Of course, Carr from Illinois. Then again, Tristan Moran from Wisconsin. Then he moved down to March 9th, Joey McKenna, and then Nick Lee, losing to Nick Lee from Penn State.
You know, the Golden Gophers under Brandon Agam really had a good showing here down the stretch heading into the national championships, 3rd at the Big Tens. Inside trip attempt by both wrestlers.
Eierman with that whizzer trying to block off Mckee.
You wouldn't say that Mckee has kind of a funky style like Eierman, but he's very comfortable against Eierman in terms of reacting to those quick, moves and agility that Eierman gets in on him.
Eierman again showing the whizzer. Mckee trying to work on Eierman's head over there.
Potentially dangerous. Angel Rivera will send them back, and Eierman kind of shaking off that right shoulder. And that it's going to be injury time. That Zeitz signals that the Tiger coaching staff will come over along with the trainer and take a look.
Don't forget to watch the finals of the NCAA Wrestling Championships. That will be tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN2 and live on ESPN3. And live will be alive Absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah. It's semifinals. Always an exciting atmosphere last night, and then I think sometimes it rivals what the finals are on the raised mat.
You know, it's such an important evening on that Friday night session, traditionally called the blood round. It determines if you're going to be an All-American, if you drop down to the consolation side of the bracket. Of course, the semifinal championship rounds last night determining who will wrestle for all the money, if you will. Certainly that's a figurative speech, but all of the marbles on the championship round tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, that's on ESPN 2 and live on ESPN 3.
One escape for Mckee, or 1 point. 7-5 Eierman. Eierman was hit with that stalling. Now immediately on the leg of the left side of Mckee. Leg sweep. Mckee still hanging in there. Still hasn't surrendered. And they go to a scramble here. Boy, Mckee is hung tough here with Eierman. And now potentially dangerous with 3 seconds left to go in regulation.
When they came out of that neutral position, it appeared as though Mckee walked right into that single leg. And Eierman took advantage of it, then hence the scramble.
And 1 point riding time for Jayden Eierman of Mizzou. He moves on later in this round to wrestle for third place.